Mr. Russell? I show
Hello?
12:01. If you're ready, I think we are ready.
Yep.
We have recording started.
The recording is started? Is that
Yes,
what you
sir.
said?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Columbia 911 Communications District Quarterly Advisory Committee meeting for January 25th, 2022. My name is Mike Russell. I'm the Public Works Director for Columbia County and Chair of the Columbia 911 Communications District Advisory Committee. Let's go around. I'll just read off your screen name, and if you could introduce yourself, please. Mr. Fletcher.
Good afternoon. Mike Fletcher, Director, Columbia 911.
Nancy.
Nancy Edwards, CFO, Columbia 911.
Brian.
Brian Gerwayne, Police Chief, St. Helens, Oregon.
Alex Edinger.
Hi there, Alex Edinger, Training and Certification Coordinator for Columbia 911.
Alex Rains.
Hi, I'm Alex Rains, City Manager for the City of Scappoose.
Sandra Egan.
Chandra Egan, Columbia 911, CAT Specialist.
Chris Carey.
And there's the mute button. Chris Carey, Director of Columbia County Emergency Management.
Daniel Hooper.
Hi, Danielle Hooper, GIS Specialist, Columbia 911.
Chief Pritchard.
Jeff Pritchard, Scappoose Fire District.
Chief Medina.
Joel Medina, Fire Chief, Columbia River Fire and Rescue.
Mary Jo.
Mary Jo Beck, Columbia 911, Off Support Specialist.
Malcolm.
Malcolm Hyatt, Oregon Department of Forestry.
Joe. Chief Kaczynski.
Joe Kaczynski, Ms. Birkenfeld, Fire Chief.
Ryan.
Is that Ryan or Brian?
Ryan, sorry.
All right. Ryan Murphy, Columbia County Sheriff's Office, also in the room. Lieutenant McQuitty and Sergeant Thompson.
Thank you. Sean Davis.
Sean Davis, Interim Chief at Scappoose PD.
And Tyler Miller.
Good afternoon, Tyler Miller, City Councilor, City of Scappoose.
Okay, thank you all for being here today. Did I miss anybody? Hearing none, we'll go forward. Approval of the minutes for October 26, 2021. If you've had an opportunity to review the minutes, I'll entertain a motion.
So move to approve the minutes from October 26th.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Hyatt, seconded by Chief Pritchard to adopt the minutes or approve the minutes of October 26, 2021. Any discussion? Hearing none. Any opposed to adopting the minutes? Hearing none, we'll approve the minutes by acclamation. Thank you. Appointment of committee members and alternates. Looks like Scappoose PD alternate and Metro West is needed. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir. So we do have a couple changes. So Scappoose PD, the alternate, is named as Sergeant Justin Stevenson, and that has been made and approved by the board. Metro West Ambulance has both a primary, Jennifer Nyberg, and an alternate as David Weeks.
And then if you guys can send me the form for doing that, this may be my last meeting. I'm retiring on April 30th, and so I might be able to attend the April 26th meeting, but that would be my last one.
We'll do that, Malcolm. Thank you.
Anything else under member updates, member appointments?
That's it, sir.
Okay, district updates. Operations report?
I'm giving the operations report for this meeting for Laura. Our current counts are lead dispatchers. We have one with one vacancy. Full-time ComSpecs, we're at 15, or I'm sorry, we're at 11, and we're budgeted for 15. Part-time, we are at 2. We have a new trainee that is just signed off, and actually yesterday was their first full shift. We have a second trainee that is hot on their heels, about to be signed off. We expect that here in the next actually 2 or 3 weeks. We have a new hire that started on the 9th of this month. We will be going out for a we have an applicant, getting ahead of myself. We do have another applicant in the final phases of their hiring process. They're doing their medical currently, but everything is successfully passed, including background. So we're just waiting for the final psych and medical. We expect that person to start mid-February. And then directly after that, we will be opening up on our next recruitment process for ComSpecs. Recently, Alex is on here. There he is. Was promoted to the training and certification coordination position. So congratulations, Alex. Today's his first full day in the office working on that role. And we are in the process. We closed out the position for operations manager as of Sunday night, Monday morning, and we're right now scheduling the interview panel for that. So we hope to have that done here in the next week or 2. Inquiries, there are none. Miscellaneous information. We have a CAD to CAD, which most folks know about. It's a rather robust one, and we are adding Portland's 911 Center to it, as well as OSP. OSP is coming up first, and we expect them to be online here again, middle of February. That's it for the operations report. Any questions? Thank you.
Hearing none, let's go to the equipment and technological briefing, please.
Hi, this is Danielle Hooper. I'm actually doing this briefing on behalf of Nathan Hughes, the technical manager, he's in training right now. He's attending the Central Square API training, a class that's going to allow Columbia 911 to interface with CAD using the new API, which will involve adding new power lines and reporting systems within CAD. And piggybacking on what Mike said, Columbia 911 continues to test with CAD to CAD and hopefully going live February 15th, and we're putting training out to the floor. On network security, Magix is in the process of testing the CIS Albert network monitor. Columbia 911 is preparing the hardware to go live. It's the CAD traffic for anything unusual and involving the firewall. And that's all I have from Nathan.
I will add one thing to that is under the purview of technical and facilities, which is Nathan's area. Everybody's aware that we've been having repeated break-ins at the Corey Hill Vernonia site, and we have a proposal going before the board Thursday to increase some security features at that site. So we will be presenting that Thursday afternoon to the board for approval. Any questions regarding technology or facilities? Hearing none.
I don't hear any, so director's report.
Yes, sir. So, several things. Talking about the existing system, the Dixie Mountain site project is on hold. And for everyone's education, the reason we're doing that is because I believe we are very close. February 1st, we're doing our work session with Federal Engineering to help educate the user board, advisory committee, fire defense board, and the board of directors on those 3-4 items that you all asked for clarification from Federal. I don't expect the board to make a decision at the February 1st meeting as for our next steps, but it's potential for the end of February, maybe. Don't have a crystal ball, it's a little fuzzy, but the Dixie Mountain site could be a key site, but then it might not be, depending on which technology we go with. So I'm going to leave that on hold until we have a clear direction and recommendation from whomever is going to design the system. The impact is we could spend $200,000-$300,000 developing the Dixie site and then not use it in the new site. So we're going to hold that card into our pocket at the moment. Radio site information, Clatskanie site, there is some movement up there. Washington State Patrol has re-engaged with the district. This has been an on-again, off-again relationship with Washington State Patrol, who has interest in co-locating up there for several years. They re-engaged with us last month and want to start moving forward, which is fine. Right now we're just in the process of exchanging boilerplate co-location lease agreements between their legal and our legal. So that's taking place. I'll keep you posted as we move forward or not on that. Another potential, or actually agreed upon, co-locator is the University of Oregon Geology Department. So they wanted to put a seismic system up there for us, and actually part of their SHAKE network. They too have gone back and forth, not so much out of lack of interest, but COVID and all things state government slowing down. So they have re-engaged. In fact, they'll be up there doing a walkthrough Thursday. In your packet is a after-action report regarding a radio system disruption that took place December 27th. I don't know if you've all had a chance to digest that or not. Certainly entertain any questions. The issue wasn't exactly a radio problem, it was a battery problem on our generator. We have a big propane generator up there, dual tanks, and the battery in the generator had voltage but not enough voltage to crank it over when we had commercial power disruption. It was a bit of a challenge to get up there because we had a foot plus of snow, and but ended up Day Wireless was able to scavenge a battery from their work truck, put it in place temporarily, and within another 12 hours they had 2 new batteries up there, and that situation was resolved. Moving down to Meisner.
Mike,
yeah.
Chief Pritchard has a question.
I just saw that. Thank you. Jeff?
Yes, sir. Just curious if you think there would be any value in doing a user after-action review as the writer to the document you put together, in the hopes of helping to make life easier for CCOM and or the users when something like this happens again in the future. I guess maybe to bring together more collaboration when it comes to information sharing and resource sharing countywide, not just specific to siloed organizations like fire law enforcement, but including emergency management. I've had a couple of offline conversations with Mr. Carey, but I thought I'd throw that out there to the group, seeing as you did bring this up, and that was a pretty significant event in the county. Thank you.
Just brainstorming, that sounds like a great idea. Are you thinking about forming a small work group?
I don't necessarily think it needs to be a work group, but generally, when after action reviews occur, it's could be a virtual meeting like this, but all the people who are involved have the opportunity to speak with the facilitator, who walks through, 4 or 5 key points, and then collecting information that can be used to move forward with how to improve. And again, that's sort of the big picture thought that I'm throwing out there as a question.
I'm completely open to that, and maybe Chris would be willing to be the facilitator for that. I'm looking at you, Chris.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to facilitate. So definitely, I hope that in the future, EM is the kind of county-wide organization that can start stapling things together if and when something like this does happen. I hope that I can be a resource for the public safety leaders on this meeting. So yeah, I'm more than happy to facilitate. Are there any just by quick show of hands or thumbs up or something in the chat? Would the police and fire leaders on the call think that an AAR like that would be useful? If you do, Chief Pritchard, Chief K, got your thumbs up. Because if Malcolm, thank you kindly. Chief Davis, Chief Deputy Murphy. All right. So how about this? I'll put together a Zoom call. I think hour-long AAR format. And first, I just need to get more familiar with the incident a little bit myself. Chief Medina, thank you much, because I'm still gathering up what happened. But let me get together a rubric, and I'll put together an hour-long call for us to get together.
That'd be great. Thanks, Chris. Anything else before I move on? Moving on, Meisner. So everybody knows we've been working for some time to redevelop that site. Everything's ready to go. We're ready to publish the RFP and the ITB package, which is invitation to bid. All those documents are ready to roll. We were hoping to publish it last Friday. But we have, again, technical difficulties from the state of Oregon. So the state of Oregon used to have, or does have, a website called ORPIN. It's the site used for governmental entities to publish RFPs for civil work and actually lots of projects. And ORPIN has been changed now to something called Oregon Buys, except you can't get into it. So we've had the tech support from ORPIN working with me, working with Oregon Buys, which is another entity, trying to get our documents loaded up, and it's kind of a cluster right now. So I'm waiting and working with about 4 different people to get those documents up. Our construction manager is standing in the shadows. He's going to update the dates because we didn't publish Friday, so hopefully maybe this week we'll get them published, but it's a work in progress. But everything else is ready to go. Columbia Heights lease and move, that too is on hold. We made a significant investment in December with a microwave rebuild from the shot from Clatskanie to Columbia Heights. And again, that site may or may not be part of any new radio system. And so rather than reinvest significant amount of money. We're waiting until we can get a clear direction what we're doing, and then we'll make investments in the proper new site or potentially staying where we are. Corey Hill, I kind of talked on that a little bit. We have repaired the fence. We have repaired the generator. The grounding loop has been replaced. The generator was broken into again. So we're holding on the repair of that because the transfer switch, which was stolen in the original break-in, is still in back order, supply chain issues. As soon as that device gets in, then we fix the generator, and the other work that we're working on is updating some security features and functions for that site, and hopefully things will improve. Part of the Meisner site is a new microwave link from that site also to Clatskanie, so that will be taking place. That's all the existing stuff on the existing radio system. Next gen radio system. Hopefully everybody received my email, save the date. It's for Tuesday, February 1st. Yesterday we did a field trip and signed paperwork to rent out the Fairgrounds Pavilion. That's where we're going to hold that work session. It's scheduled on that Tuesday, February 1st, from 12 o'clock noon to 4 p.m. We'll be sending out an updated invite to all of you today with that information. We just signed the papers yesterday. And then
Mike, what's your expectation, or not expectation, but what's that opportunity for us specifically
for that work session day? Yep.
Yeah.
So the advisory committee at our last meeting identified 3 or 4 talking points that they are seeking clarification from federal engineering. It's the same exact 4 issues that the Fire Defense Board has identified, and the Board of Directors of the 911 District echoed that. So what they are is further clarification and really just education of why 20 some years ago the district was recommended to go with the VHF system, and what the story I've been told is that the district was told that 800 at that time was not advised for Columbia County. And now we have a recommendation from federal engineering saying 800 could work. So the board and the user board wants to know what has changed. Why is it now workable when 20 years ago it wasn't? So let the experts explain what has changed in those 20 years, technology or whatever equipment that makes it a viable solution today. They want to have a further conversation, in-depth conversation about the differences between owning and operating any system, any spectrum, versus partnering with any entity, whether that be Portland, Washington County, or Clark County. I don't have all of my shopping list on. There was one other point that was asking for clarification, but it comes down to equipment coverage is key, and of course money. So I'm working with federal engineering. We have a phone call meeting this afternoon to go over the game plan for that presentation and how we're going to. We want participation, input from the users, but how do we manage that conversation? Is it strictly a presentation? Is it question and answers? Is it engagement? Is it that's what I need to coordinate with federal of how we want to manage that. Also, Mike, I want to throw the ball at your court. I sent you a document this morning that I received last night, if you have anything to say about that.
Yeah, so I think the other thing was control, right? Whether, from my recollection from our discussions, was either we are control our own network, or we are relying on others and we kind of give up some of that control. I think that was the other issue.
Yeah, that's the difference between owning and operating any spectrum versus partnering. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So yeah, I am in receipt of a document that's entitled End User Need Requirements Next Gen Radio System, and I think I don't know much about its genesis, but I do know that on the surface it looks like a good document to have as a baseline requirements document. I'm not sure exactly if everything is doable or not. For example, I don't know if this is numbered. The requirements are numbered. 27 talks about the advisory committee's request that if CRES or WACA cannot guarantee certain needs to us, that the advisory committee requests that the 911 communications district will build out and maintain its own independent radio system. I think we have yet to give you a recommendation, so I'm not sure where that came from, but overall I think the document is a good, like I said, starting point for kind of our expectations for a new radio system. I don't know if everything is doable or not, but at least it's a list of wants and would be good. I'm not sure how many of the group has seen this document. Like I said, I just got it yesterday too, so it might be something we could send to the group, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have them look at.
Yeah.
And maybe at our next meeting or before, if you're needing a recommendation, at some point, and it's totally up to the group, but I would like to be able to give you a recommendation from the advisory, from the users group, on some of this stuff. So not necessarily an overarching, yes, go this way or go that way, but maybe some interim recommendations for you to move the project forward. I think we kind of all agree we need to update or upgrade or help make our radio system better, and that's in some way, and we're just trying to wrestle with how to do that. So let's go ahead and send this out to the group, and then maybe have it as a discussion point on the next meeting agenda.
I'm happy to send it. I'll send it out today because I have the distribution list. So I'll send it out at the conclusion of this meeting so everybody can review it.
Are there any questions from the committee on Next Gen Radio System or the February 1st meeting, or any discussion? Chief Pritchard.
Yeah, if for some reason folks are unable to attend in person, is there going to be some thought or availability for a virtual component to that meeting?
So that was part of our conversation yesterday of what is available there. There is Wi-Fi, which was a major component. So yes, we will have, most likely Nathan will manage a Zoom or some platform to, our problem will be, while we will have a public address system for virtual getting audio from whomever is in online may be a challenge, but I have to work with Nathan on that, but and as well as visual, but we're working on that.
Anything else from the committee? Does that finish the radio system?
Yes, sir.
Updates?
Yep.
COVID update.
So we're still closed down, reluctantly, but we are. We personally at this agency have been hit hard by COVID. We've survived, but we've been running at minimums or below just because we had people out sick. Right now we're back in good shape. Everyone's on duty. We don't have any positive cases currently, but that's always change. Could change in 10 minutes. So one of the other hats I wear is I sit on the board of directors for Oregon Health Authority, and we had our meeting last Friday, and some of those analysts there are very bright, and so they've been tracking specifically Oregon, but they track national COVID stuff as well, and their algorithms are fascinating to look at. They project that Friday the 4th is going to be the peak for Oregon in COVID cases, and it will far surpass the peak that we saw in Delta. And but for them, and it's a trickle-down effect that you guys are seeing in the EMS world, the problem is there's a 6%, between 5 and 6% capacity in Oregon hospitals right now, open capacity. The available beds in ICU are fewer than that, and that's where the problem is. As people are in ICU for whatever reason, they're having problems clearing out those beds, and that's the backlog into the med-surg floors. And when med-surg backs up, those people are housed in short care and EDs, and then that's why you were seeing your ambulance transports being delayed at the hospitals for a significant amount of time because crews don't have any place to drop the patients. They're aware of that. It's a all hands on deck approach for COVID for the next 2 weeks. But then they expect a very severe drop off, which is good. But in the meantime, they are building surge plans for the entire state. And that's problematic also because they could literally direct every transport. Well, already we are transporting out of the county, but it could be counties, plural, where you're taking patients to. So they're trying to work with all the EMS providers on that. No updates on the tow service contracts. That's in the hands of the county. Ambulance service area, we are just a participant in that process, so I have no updates there. We've spoken about the Corey Hill vandalism and breaking and entering there. And sir, I believe, just check my notes here, that concludes my reports.
Any questions for the director? Hearing none. Roundtable. This is an opportunity for each of the committee members to info share and talk about any issues related to the 911 communications district or the recent storm we had, or debrief anything you wanted to with the user group. So I'll just kind of open the floor. If you want to raise your hand, I'll call on you. Chris.
Hey, how's it going? First off, thank you very much, the entire team at 911, for supporting all of the community alert messages that went out over the past month. Working mornings, working holidays, responding to my emails promptly. Thank you kindly. Something that I believe, and Humbug, if you are hosting the meeting, could you let me share my screen? So I'd like to share something. So one of the things that I know have been socialized quite some time ago, and if I believe I've had in-person conversations with all of the leaders on this call. If not, I apologize. happy to have that conversation, after this. But I've been talking about the emergency alert and warning policy for Columbia County. So that basically formalizes when and how Columbia County Emergency Management will use the emergency alert and warning system. Kind of gives Mike's team a little bit of what to expect, and that has finally passed been approved by the board. So Board Order 73-2021 formally adopted the policy, and I'm going to send out an email to all the public safety leaders, police, fire, and Mike, so you can have your own copy, because of the part of the policy is me formally notifying you. And this is not that notification, but I just wanted to, got a chance to talk, so I might as well talk. And I still can't share my screen, so you can give it another go. But bottom line, the policy is only 2 pages long. The only thing that I wanted to highlight is one of the bullets says, my department shall not provide emergency alert and warning services for public safety emergencies led by local safety agencies for time-sensitive alerts. So that means that, hey, if there's an active shooter, if there is a hazmat spill, if there's a wildfire evacuation, if there's something like that, the incident command, this removes me out of that chain, and the incident commander should go directly to Mike and his team at 911. Directly. Now this is because I don't want the expectation to be, hey, let's call Chris at 3 a.m. and get him out of bed so that he can compose a message and we can get it out through 911, because for incidents like that, they are time sensitive. We do need to get them out to the community as quickly as we can. So in order to help that happen, what I've already offered up in myself, and I am now bound by board order to do, is offer my emergency alert and warning expertise at your request to your organizations, so that we can help you develop your policies, your procedures, your messages to make that happen in a timely manner. So, if you have a fire evacuation or a traffic stoppage or something that you believe, you need to reach out to the public for, I can help you write that policy. I can help you kind of get into the nuances of the Everbridge system, although I'll defer to Mike's technical experts on that. But I can start that conversation. I can facilitate that conversation, and they'll just be good at setting expectations on a broad level. So we've been acting as if this policy has been in place and here we go, thank you, Mike, for a couple of months, and it's been going pretty well. So as you can see here, this is order number 73-2021, and I've just highlighted that, for time-sensitive stuff, we don't want to get in between the incident command and the alerting authority. I've been in positions like that in the past, and it really doesn't do any good. But I am more than willing, at your request, to help you set up your policies, your procedures, your template messages, because once you have all of those, then Mike can have those template messages in the system, by the way, so that your incident commander can just say, hey, I need a number 7 message in this area. And everyone knows that a number 7 message is in this area, and it goes out a lot quicker. It's a lot easier for your supervisors in the field, your chief officers who are going to be making the call, and for the team to actually send it. So this is I have to formally notify you within 90 days. So in the next month, I hope to sit down and at least just answer any questions, start the conversation about what we can be doing to support your organizations, and get the ball rolling. So I've just been talking for a couple of minutes about an important thing. What does everyone else have to say?
Danielle, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to let Chris know he could share his screen, but he got it all figured out.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, I'll be reaching out independent of this, but just please know that I'm here to help. It's complicated, it's nuanced, but it's something that if you do the work beforehand, like I think we've done with Mike and the team, it pays off in dividends when you actually have to pull the trigger. So thank you much, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Chris. Anybody else? Quiet group. All right. If there's nothing else, then I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you all. Look forward to seeing you on February 1st at the board's work session. Thank you all.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.